You would like to ask that I'll be able to answer is what this session is all about, rather than picking one topic. But I think it would be very interesting that we've done on the other ones, classes that we held. If you'll tell who you are and just a little brief description of what your situation is, whether you're just starting, you're an enthusiast, you're in the restaurant business, you're thinking about getting into it. And then we'll just go on the round table and ask me whatever you want to know. I'll give you my best answer at it.
My name's Dave, and I'm enthusiastic about this guy.
Zeke's restaurant from Long Island, New York. I do a small amount of catering, but I've been cooking for over 40 years.
Everett Grove from Hanover, Pennsylvania. Just getting started in the catering business, barbecue business, about a few years. And hopefully down the road here in the near future, looking to go into a restaurant. So.
Robert, North Carolina, been in the food service business for 20 plus years, looking at getting into catering and
I'm Neil Pringle from Roswell, Georgia. I'm on a competition team in Atlanta. And, I grew up in the Caribbean, and I'm getting ready to come out with a series of Caribbean barbecue songs.
My name is Jack Waybor. I have a business called the Carolina Pitmasters Barbecue Cooking School. I also have an internet podcast show called GreenevilleTV. And I'm here because I'm a presenter this afternoon, and I wanted to ask Mike Mills some questions.
Gerald Caldwell. I'm a barbecue enthusiast. Do a few competitions, work on a sauce, and just having fun.
Nice to have you here.
Chris Combs, just more backyard barbecue.
I'm Greg Talley from Bridgeport, Alabama. We're Sam Dog's Barbecue. We just come out with our first sauce, and here to learn quite a bit. You know, it's picking up quite a bit of good information. So.
I'm Mickey Bryce, and my husband is a barbecue enthusiast, so I'm here to support him and learn as much as I can.
That's awesome. You know, we got a nice diversity here of people from around different parts of the country, and also different styles, different wants and needs in life. If we can just start out here with Sweet Baby Ray and see what question do you have for me?
Just wanted to sit by you, Mike. Nothing at all.
Hey, that's my line.
All right, we'll come back to you.
I just want to sit in and pick up as much as I possibly can.
They're going to make you talk on your own, Mike.
Evidently, yeah, you're putting the pressure on me. We're going to get a question here. Somebody's curious about something.
Do you do catering, or are you just mainly restaurant?
We're full service. We do catering. We have restaurant. The type of restaurants we have are set-down restaurants. And we also have banquet facilities.
When you do a catering event, you're doing 3 meats, 3 sides. How do you know how much meat you take? The same amount of meat for all 3 meats, or do you take one over the other?
I find out as much information as we can for whoever we're going to be servicing. Also, at the same time, it has a large amount to do with who am I serving. Is it men, women, and kids? Is there a lot of kids there? Is it more female than male? Are they construction workers? You know, are they housewives, or what the situation is? But as I'm talking with the party planner, whoever is setting this up, or the hostess of that event, I quiz them pretty heavy as to what it is. And then also what they want, how much they want. I tell them and price my food accordingly, even though you have a base price for 3 meats. I will tell them how much that is. So no, it will not always be the same amount of meat. You know, I may do They may want a pulled pork, they may want chicken, and then how many bone rib do they want? Normally it's either a 3 or 4 bone rib. So I check with them and then sell it in that method. But I would probably on the average 3 meat, I'm going to run about 4 ounces of pork. I'm going to run about 3.5 to 4 ounces of pulled chicken and/or a piece of chicken. I do 8-cut chicken instead of quarters. Works out better. People can get what they want. And whether they're going to order a 3 or 4 bone rib.
Then you get the chance to upsell them after that. This isn't what you want, we can give you more.
What made you decide on the old hickory cookers if you used some of your other?
I was looking for something because I've always had stick burners prior, and most of the barbecue pits that I had been I had built, along with my friends. Had homemade pits, and I was looking for something that I could do more volume on. And I had looked around, and in different events I went to, I was observing what was going on. And I was in a fortunate area to where that 22 miles from me they made Southern Pride pits. 45 miles away they made and manufactured old hickory pits. So I just went to the plants, observed what also I went out and talked to people that had the pits, and they are mostly in that type of a pit. Those two are the premier barbecue pits. I just found that there were some options on it wasn't options, it was just standard, because an old hickory pit, you don't have to turn it to cook. The racks can stay stationary just by flipping a switch. I don't have to have the convection system in it if I don't want it, so I can turn the fans off and be able to hold product better without hot air blowing on it to use it as a holding oven, like you would the burner system. I thought was a little bit better, and over the period of years I've just found it served me very well. I've been using them for about 18 years, and they'll break down just like any other pit will. It's a piece of equipment, the motor will go out, or do one of the relay boxes or something, but I can get overnight service, or by calling there, they'll usually show me how to get around it if you've got a little bit of MacGyver in you.
Sounds like you like them.
Pardon?
Sounds like you like them.
I do. They've serviced me very well. I've got pits that are 18 years old that run, I'm going to tell you, 24/7, and they still produce the product that I'm proud to be able to put out. There are a lot of good barbecue pits out there. This just happens to be the one that gives me a life. I can go home, go to bed. I know how much wood it takes in order to give me the flavor profile I want. So therefore, that's what I use. But as I said, there's a lot of good barbecue pits out there. Some of them are a little more work. I want to get out as much work as I can. But I like a rotisserie. It's not that I haven't cooked on flat racks and I'll cook on them again. But I like the meat coming around to me. I don't want to have to crawl over something. I like for it to be able to come right there to me where I can get to it.
I just wanted to make a comment. I bought some of your books last year when I was at the convention. That was the first one I came up in Memphis.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed them.
I have, and they were a real inspiration for me in making my Caribbean sauces. I got a lot
Really?
of great ideas from your sauces to inspire my sauces.
Well,
if you have time,
I feel very highly complimented out of that.
I wouldn't mind getting some techniques for your shoulders and butts if you have time to talk about it.
We'll get together and do that.
Taking
Flag me down.
classes in Murfreesboro great time, great way to get education, and no budget.
Where is that in Murfreesboro?
In Murfreesboro, yes, we hold 3 times a year. We hold some classes. We call it the business of barbecue. And I'm not there to tell you, it's all about the whole business, all about all the catering, the front office, the menus, the vending, and a hands-on cooking. And I'm not there to tell you this is the way you got to cook. I'm there to show you this is what we do and the way we arrive at it. And then you can take part of that or leave part of that and do your own thing. Like I say, it's not a class. This is what you got to do by any means.
It's an all-day class.
It's a 2-day class. Yeah.
Where can they find information?
You can locate the information on the internet, onq.com, ruonq.com. Jack.
I come from the Low Country, specifically Charleston, and in South Carolina, in the Low Country especially, pork is king, especially the whole hog. How do you go about when you cater? Do you cater whole hog, or do you just cater pulled pork and Boston butts? And when you do cater whole hog, how do you price the value? How do you put a value on the price of cooking a whole hog for a party?
I do several whole hog a year. I'll do whatever you want me to do, as long as I feel like that I'm capable of producing the product. I get $1,200 for a whole hog that will take and feed 80 people. That's along with 3 sides and all of the paperware and everything else that goes along with that.
Flat rate, $1,200.
Flat rate. If you want to increase more people, then it's $15 a person. We will go there, we'll have the hog, you'll be able to see the hog cooking, take all of the pictures along with the whole hog, see it all come off of there and be served.
How does that compare to what you do in regular pulled pork, say shoulders or Boston butts?
Say that again for me,
How does
please.
that kind of a price compare? It's $15 a person, basically, is what you said. Additionally, what is your base price for just doing pulled pork barbecue with 3 sides? Is there a cost increase because you cook whole hog, or is it?
Yes, technically speaking, they're paying for the dog and pony show. Going there, cooking the hog. In fact, I will not go there and cook the whole hog. It is going to be cooked, and then I'm going to haul it there on the pit, still cooking, and finish it off at the event.
You set it up.
That's another reason that I have the whole hickories. I am capable of doing this. Cooking it going down the road. I'm not turning as I go down the road, but I'm still cooking.
You do the hog in the old hickory then?
Yes.
Do you
Absolutely.
set it
I
up
do.
race style, or do you set it up on the back?
I do it squatted.
Squatted?
I squat those down for that.
So it fits on the rotation?
Yeah. So, feet are laying out. It's going to have a beautiful head on it. It's going to be a nice mahogany color. The back feet are tucked under. Kind of like it's just laying there.
Thank you.
But no, it's there's probably about a $6 a person difference in getting the same thing.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Kind of two-part question. Have you seen a big increase on difficulties and costs with all the new government regulations coming down with we're starting to want to control portion sizes in restaurants, what we are allowed to give out, and having to require nutritional information on every single menu item? Have you had much of that come around yet?
That has not affected us yet. I see that, that's kind of a trend in some of your larger cities. That's where I see some of that going on. If you're talking about nutritional value of whatever it happens to be, I did not know that there was wasn't aware of that they were trying to do any type of portion control. I haven't ran into that.
New thing that's in the White House.
The amount of money that's paid for hospital care for the obesity of America would certainly warrant some type of looking to this to see how we can help ourselves be healthier people. And if you just look at the people in this room, I think we would all agree on that.
Can you really trust a skinny barbecue guy?
Pardon?
Can you trust a skinny barbecue guy?
Tuffy Stone, 2007 Cooker of the Year.
Yes, very thin, very thin, very fit.
He's an ex-Marine.
That might help too.
And I know just in reading some books, you've had a lot of the presidents, get your ribs and stuff. Is there any one president that stuck out as, most cordial or most fun to meet with your ribs?
Probably the most dynamic, impressive one of all of them that demanded attention when he walked in the room was Clinton. There was an air about him that if he walked in this room right now over there, you would kind of sense that he was there. He was a very impressive individual because he just carried an air about him. Big man too. I don't want to leave you out back there. What about you?
Megan, what temperature you cook your hog at?
What do I take my hog to?
What temperature? Your temperature. You cook your hog at what temperature?
At what temperature am I going to cook it to? I mean, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to cook it about 240, 250. While I'm cooking the hog, I'm wanting to reach the same temperature that I do whenever I'm cooking or pulling a shoulder or a butt, which I'm going to tell you is going to be that 185 to 190, closer to the 190, but 185 to 190 is going to be the temperature of that hog. To where I'm going to take an X-Acto knife and I'm going to cut this down, up the leg, up the shoulder, down the loin, down the ham, and I'm going to lift that off of there where you'll just be able to see all of this meat. And I'm going to leave the other side on. I'm going to leave the skin on the other side to act as a shield to help hold the heat in while I'm working off of this side. And, if need be, and if everybody was eating, I'd just take this and put it right back on there where it looks like it's still the whole hog. But I'm going to end up tearing every bit of it apart. The Carolinas are noted for pig pickings. I mean, they're the king of all of this. All the rest of the country stole that idea from the Carolinas.
What do you like to do with your spare time, and do you get enough of it?
Believe it or not, I usually cook out. But I'm not normal, But I still eat barbecue every day. I've got a lot of friends, they're in the barbecue business and they can't stand it. I eat barbecue every day of some type. I eat a lot of other foods at the same time. I appreciate it. I like fried chicken, I'm a steak man. I like pasta. I like it all. I like Asian foods, Fried rice is one of my favorites. And that's part of the obesity part of it here. But I still believe that I would not be of this size, not because of my diet. It's because of my lack of activity. Although I am busy and doing something all the time, I'm not doing manual labor, real good physical manual labor, to be able to. Otherwise, I'd be like, I still do eat all I want. I never, just me.
I kind of look at it, eat what I want, everything else. If I get hit by a bus, it wouldn't matter what I ate. I enjoy life.
But around the country, and all the different questions and all the different styles of barbecue and the way it's presented and the way it's served, and the mobile trucks right now is a hot trend of being able to go around and serve barbecue, because then they're letting people know when they develop the route. This is not really new. It is for barbecue, but it's not really new in the restaurant world, so to speak. These mobile trucks and stands have been around for a long time. It's easier to move a truck than it is a stand where you're pulling a rig. to be able to pull up to a certain spot or to a factory. This has been happening for a lot of years. But it's really going over, I know, in the Nashville area and some California and some of these other cities. But that concept has been around for ever and ever, especially out in Vegas. They've been doing it for years, just not with barbecue.
I feel stupid asking you this question with that camera on, but I'll ask anyhow. Amy has helped me a real lot with my business and as a friend. What has she done to help you with your business?
Amy is really, you know, and we're talking about my daughter, Amy, who actually put the on-cue class together, and I am her assistant with this, you know, and she helps keep me on a straight path, reminds me of what needs to be done, backs up what I think and what I want to do, and helps me put it out in a better perspective. I would not be in the same position today without her assistance. It's invaluable. I know nothing about the internet. I appreciate what it does. I know what it's capable of doing. I just don't know how to get it out of it. But you know, that's the wave of the future. That's the communication of the future. That basically the telephone is gone, other than hold it so that you can get on the net and, you know, do your advertising on there. I just didn't think that would ever work. Boy, was I wrong. But I really enjoyed being with my daughter, not because she's just my daughter, but I'm probably the luckiest individual in the world because she helped me write the book. I told the story and she wrote it down, but most people don't ever get a chance to reconnect with their kids later in life. And this has just been awesome, you know, to be able to have this opportunity. She found out I'm not the hard ass that she thought I was.
So kind of why I asked that question is I heard a lot of you guys when you introduced yourself, you're in the introductory stages. I'm telling you, I've gone to 3 of his classes, and you want to learn more about barbecue, you want to get to meet barbecue people, you want to be part of the barbecue community. There is no easier, in my opinion, more affordable way to go down to Murfreesboro and check out his place. And for me, it was worth it just to see his trophies. One third of his trophies. Absolutely unbelievable. All I can say is I have more baskets than Mike Mills has trophies.
Well, you know, that's one of the things, and without this barbecue world and the way that it happens to become, I would have never had the opportunity, you know, to meet Sweet Baby Ray or Famous Dave or some of the other people, and all of you. I would not have ever been given this opportunity. I do know that out of some of the people that I'm going to be fortunate enough to meet here today, that we'll end up talking on the phone. We may end up becoming close friends. I have got friends from all over, I'm going to tell you, all over, literally all over the world that I talk to, give me a call, and I feel like we have a bond together. You know, now will that be with each and every one of us? No. But all of a sudden I feel very proud to be able to have met Jack. I have no idea from this point forward when again or when I will see Jack or whatever, but I know the opportunity is there. And one thing about it is whenever you're in the barbecue world, we have something in common. You know, the barbecue world is about friends and family. It's a party. It's a gathering. It's a meeting. I love that aspect of it. And I think that you all have, through the few days you've been here, or however long it happens to be, probably feel the same way that, you know, we pass this way but once, and be able to stick that hand out there and say, how you doing? And if you can give just a little pearl of something to somebody that will help them or make things easier or bring them along a little bit further, a little bit faster, that's what it's all about. That I love. I love to see my employees grow. I've got some I'd like to kill. But on the other hand, I'm very fortunate to have some of the people that I do have and to see their desires. They've got a lot of years ahead of them, and to watch them grow and go out maybe one of these days and do their own thing. I'd rather for them to stay with me, you know. But I feel fortunate that I have them while they are, you know, part of the team. I haven't come back that they've gone on their own and doing something else, have their own place, and or whatever business they happen to go into. This is just the people that you'll meet here at barbecue contests and at the NBBQA. It's a different group, and not everybody will fit in. But those people will leave out, but the rest of us will enjoy each other. Life's pretty short. Time to enjoy. If you all will, I want you to, you don't have to leave, we'll go ahead and talk, but please fill one of these out and turn that in whenever you go. What other questions? Give me, you know, I know some more stuff. I believe, yes, Apple is my thing. I will use, have used, and will continue to use other woods also. I don't profess it has to be that. I have a reason that I use apple wood. I don't believe in a heavy smoke. I believe in a milder, sweeter smoke. Also, apple will not darken or blacken my meat as much because it has a thin skin rather than a heavy bark. And if any of you took the class on wood, I'm sorry I didn't get to have the opportunity for all of it, but more knowledge was put out in that class than you can possibly believe about how wood grows and what it does and what effect that has, you know, on the meats.
The moisture content. They got a machine that can read how much moisture is in the wood.
Exactly. Well, I'm going to just refer to that for, you know, my general use, and most everybody else's of not getting that technical on that aspect of it. I'm going to call that green wood. You know, green wood is going to impart a different smoke. It's not going to burn as hot as what dried wood is. Dried wood is going to burn up quicker and create more heat. But like I say, for a shorter period of time. It all works. All flavors of wood work. Probably the only one that I do not care for at all is mesquite because it's very dominating. But it's all of how much of that wood you use. You know, if you're using 100% and you're using logs, you get a different effect out of it than if you burn it down and use the coals from it. It all depends on how much bark is on the outside. A scaly bark hickory is going to be different than a pig nut. You know, there's varieties. But that's, again, the reason. I use a lot of wild cherry. I'm very fortunate in the area that I live. We have it all. We have the pecan. We have all of the fruit trees. We have the oak. You know, we have it all. It's just the matter and the amount of wood you want to use as to the flavor profile. You know, it's just like stacking smoke. I don't think you can do that. You know, say, well, I'm going to buy layers at different times. But I think that you can probably mix woods and get a different flavor. You know, but sometimes I think that we try to over-science what we do. Key word. Let's keep it simple, stupid.
Thank you so much.
thank you. It's very nice to have you all here. If you'll turn these reports in, I'd appreciate it. And if you didn't get a question answered, stop me. I'll tell you the best of what I know.
We know that, yes. No doubt about it.
Mike, you got